India and the US are discussing possibilities of co-producing jet engines, long-range artillery and infantry vehicles under the Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies (iCET) announced earlier this year, and officials said some high-technology initiatives are expected to be announced during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming visit to the US next month. Ahead of the visit, launch of INDUS-X under the iCET to promote partnerships between the two countries' defense innovation ecosystems is scheduled in Washington. In the run-up to the visit, these issues were discussed at the 17th meeting of India-US Defense Policy Group (DPG) chaired by Defense Secretary Giridhar Ramane from India and Under-Secretary of Defense for Policy Dr. Colin Kahl last week. The two sides reviewed the progress made in furthering defense industrial cooperation and operationalizing the India-US Major Defense Partnership. Important aspects such as military-to-military cooperation, implementation of foundational defense agreements, exercises and the ongoing and future cooperative activities in the Indian Ocean region were discussed, the Defense Ministry said in a statement. The ministry further said that considerable focus was given on the ways and means to enhance defense industrial cooperation, including technology partnership, long-term research and development, and improving supply chain security. The meeting also discussed promoting co-development and co-production in India, including potential areas and projects where Indian and US defense companies could work together. Mr. Ramane also held a meeting with Deputy Secretary of Defense Dr. Kathleen Hicks on which Pentagon issued a statement. The two leaders welcomed the upcoming launch of INDUS-X in advance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US in June, and highlighted its value as an opportunity to promote partnerships between the two countries' defense innovation ecosystems, Pentagon spokesperson Eric Pahan said. The INDUS-X is going to be a major initiative under iCET and the focus is firmly on advancing high-tech cooperation, sources said. Officials from both sides confirmed that the jet engine collaboration was discussed during DPG along with other collaboration mechanisms within co-production and co-development among other issues. Among proposals being discussed as a General Electric (GE) application to US government to license manufacture its GE 414 engine in India, which has already been chosen to power India's light combat aircraft (LCA) Mk2, and another proposal to jointly produce a jet engine for India's future indigenous jets, for which GE is competing with Safran of France and Rolls-Royce of UK. Commenting on this, Mukesh Aghi, President and CEO of the US-India Strategic Partnership Forum (USISPF), said only 4 countries make jet engines for planes, and India will be the 5th one if the deal is announced. So the jet engine deal will take India's capability in the aircraft industry to a new level, and I think from a US perspective, it will mean jobs. The deal also sends a message to the Chinese that the relationship between India and the US is not just a surface relationship and is getting deeper. If the US agrees to transfer jet engine technology to India, which China doesn't at present have the capability for, it sends a very strong message, Mr. Aghi further said, adding, so the deal is important from a messaging perspective, and also from the substantial transfer of technology, that will be a first, and if it is announced, I think the PM visit will be seen as a success in those terms. Deputy Secretary Ms. Hicks reiterated US support for India's defense modernization objectives, including increasing US investments in Indian domestic manufacturing, Mr. Pahan said. During the meeting, Deputy Secretary Hicks described the proposals to co-produce jet engines, long-range artillery, and infantry vehicles under iCET as unprecedented opportunities to strengthen ties between the US and Indian defense sectors. The DPG is the apex official level mechanism between Ministry of Defense, India and US Department of Defense, and comprehensively reviews and guides all aspects of bilateral defense cooperation with a focus on policy. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and his US counterpart Jake Sullivan in January jointly chaired the inaugural meeting of iCET. Earlier efforts at co-developing a jet engine under the Defense Technology and Trade Initiative (DTTI) has failed to take off owing to US domestic legislations, due to which the joint working group on it was wound up a few years back.